Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Siboga TV, which is your number one online political channel. Today, I want to have a candid analysis about Fredo Kengo Matiang'I tour to Gusii region. I want to dissect for you whether that homecoming tour actually achieved its political functions. Because yesterday, Fredo Kengo Matiang'I actually stormed the entire Gusii region. And on that homecoming tour, Fredo Kengo Matiang'I was actually received massively. And I am very sure the side of President William Samoei Arap Ruto actually got shocked because of this home welcoming tour. And the way messaging was actually done, it was quite excellent. And therefore, that is actually what I want us to have a critical analysis about. But before we dive in and try to dissect all that, I could request you kindly to take a minute or two and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Give this video a like, share the video to your friends. And if your friends are lovers of politics, then it's good to request them for us to subscribe to this YouTube channel. And whenever you subscribe to our YouTube channel, always remember to smash the bell button, because by doing that, you give YouTube permission so that you can get notified whenever we upload any political content into YouTube. And for those ones who have subscribed to this YouTube channel, I say thank you and may God bless you all abundantly. And now, let us go back to the analysis of the day about the homecoming of Fred Okengo Matiang'I. And I wanted you to observe yesterday the way Fred Okengo Matiang'I was received in Gusii region. And Fred Okengo Matiang'I actually made several stopovers when he was entering to Gusii region. He was able to stop at Gijauri, Keumbu, Kisii, Nyamira, and several other stopovers. What did you really observe? I want to observe these pictures and tell me, what do you really observe from these pictures? Observe this first picture and tell me, what are you getting? Observe also from this second picture and tell me, what do you really observe? And lastly, observe from this third picture. What do you really get out of that? What do you see on those three pictures? Because those are actually samples I have taken so that to try and show you how Fred Okengo Matiang'I was actually received in the entire Gusii nation. Those three pictures are just a representation. You can agree with me that Fred Okengo Matiang'I was actually received massively from those pictures. It was grand reception. It was big. It was huge. Any word you can use can actually fit the reception of Fred Okengo Matiang'I. And what does that kind of reception tell us about the start of Fred Okengo Matiang'I politics? One, that reception, it tells us that now Fred Okengo Matiang'I has been fully accepted by the Gusii nation as the kingpin of that nation, as the kingpin of the Gusii tribe in general. That is the first thing. And it also tells us that anybody who will try to enter to Gusii politics, then he must do so by having an engagement with Fred Okengo Matiang'I. And therefore, the entry of Malaga into the presidential race from Gusii is death. Kebaso entry into the presidential race is death. Now the kingpin is Fred Okengo Matiang'I. That's what we get from that wild reception. The second thing, what we get from that reception is that now the influence of William Samoei Ruto in the Gusii nation is death. The influence of Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga in the Gusii nation is also death on arrival. And now it means that William Samoei Ruto must go to the drawing board and rethink. Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga must go to the drawing board and think. And for those political leaders, their politics influence in Gusii region has come to an end. And for them now to have any kind of influence in that part of Kenya, they must pass through Fred Okengo Matiang'I. And for Raila, he must know that his influence is gone and he must resist from actually saying that Gusii nation cannot produce a president. He must know that the Gusii nation is now out and it is marching forward to tell other tribes that it is ready to join with them to liberate this nation. That was the first thing. The second thing I noted is that all the political leaders from different political parties, they were actually there to welcome Fred Okengo Matiang'I. Simba Arati, who is ODM leader, was there to welcome Fred Okengo Matiang'I. And he spoke very clearly that the Gusii nation, the time has come for it to produce a president of this republic. And they are going to give support to Fred Okengo Matiang'I. And that is quite shocking because many people never expected that to happen because the boss of Simba Arati actually ridiculed the entry of Fred Okengo Matiang'I to the national politics. But when you saw the brigade of ODM. Leaders of ODM from the Gusii nation, they were present to welcome Fred Okengo Matiang'I. That means now the influence of Raila Amolo Odinga has come to an end. Also, there were several leaders from even the side of William Samoei Ruto who were there. And many people from that side of William Samoei Ruto are actually supporting Fred Okengo Matiang'I in quietness because they don't want to lose their jobs. And I can tell you for sure that from now henceforth, if you are not supporting Fred Okengo Matiang'I from the Gusii nation, then your political obituary is finished. Your political history is death. You must shape up to the side of Fred Okengo Matiang'I. What is another thing we can actually learn from that? Another thing is that it is now official that Fred Okengo Matiang'I is on the national politics. And I have tried to go in social media to gather how people are talking about this homecoming of Fred Okengo Matiang'I. Many people are saying that it was quite organic. It was quite massive. It was grand. And even other tribes in this nation, they are saying, why didn't you invite us to that home welcoming party? Because they wanted to be there. They wanted to be noted that they are also supporting Fred Okengo Matiang'I bid for presidency. I tried to do a sample about what people said from the mountain. From the mountain, that means from Central Province, from Meru, from Empu, and from Laikipia, and from Nakuru. People are saying that we welcome Fred Okengo Matiang'I. We accept the entry of Fred Okengo Matiang'I into national politics because that is the only man who can liberate this nation. And people are into agreement that Fred Okengo Matiang'I is the only force which can change the political trajectory of this nation. For those people who have been saying that Fred Okengo Matiang'I had always feared to come out, now they are being shocked. You saw yesterday, Silvano Sosoro tried to talk ill about Fred Okengo Matiang'I. He was forced to shut his social media because people were on the toes. People were on the back of Silvano Sosoro. They told him, keep off, keep off, keep off, keep off. And actually start knowing that Fred Okengo Matiang'I will be your president and not Kasongo. And I have also looked at various opinion polls which actually were conducted yesterday. Fred Okengo Matiang'I is leading. With only that homecoming, Fred Okengo Matiang'I was able to propel to be number one strongest presidential candidate, because in measuring all opinion polls that were conducted by various people yesterday, Okengo Matiang'I was able to garner 52 and above percentage. If you could get 10,000 people voting, Fred Okengo Matiang'i will get more than 52% of that vote. And that means that Fred Okengo Matiang'i, as that magic, is actually quite attractive to the people of this nation. And therefore, the homecoming of Fred Okengo Matiang'i actually achieved its political function. So that homecoming, it actually had to shock the entire nation. It sends shockwaves in the entire Republic of Kenya. And the people from the coast, they were saying, we need Fred Okengo Matiang'i. Let Fred Okengo Matiang'i come to the coast. And even some people from Rift Valley, where the president is coming, they were happy and they were saying, we are ready to receive Fred Okengo Matiang'i. And this spoke volumes of the entry of Fred Okengo Matiang'i. And now it is quite clear that Fred Okengo Matiang'i is the top candidate towards 2027 presidential election. And there is also another thing that other political parties must run from Fred Okengo Matiang'i. In his homecoming, it was well organized. People were there without any pay. It was organic. And Fred Okengo Matiang'i is the only political leader by now who has a presidential secretariat. You saw the way press release were given. It was given by the Fred Okengo Matiang'i presidential secretariat. That means Fred Okengo Matiang'i is ready. Another thing which was clearly put is the messaging from that rally. It was very clear. The intention of Fred Okengo Matiang'i was very clear, is to reform this nation. Fred Okengo Matiang'i avoided even that slogan of Ruto must go. It was giving hope to the people of this nation. It was telling the Kenyans, never give up. We have the mess, but we will gonna sort it. And that is what the Kenyans want to hear from their political leaders. What is your say about the homecoming of Fred Okengo Matiang'i? Do you accept that this homecoming achieved its political functions? Was it 100% success the way I feel? Please drop your comment in the comment section below. And if this is your first time to bump into this YouTube channel, I request you kindly subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Give this video a like. Share the video to your friends. And if your friends are lovers of politics, also request them to subscribe to this YouTube channel. And for those ones who have subscribed, I say thank you. And you are our inspiration, because you always give us that spirit of coming and doing this kind of critical analysis. And with that, I say thank you, and may God bless you all abundantly until we meet in our next political discussion. Goodbye.